Hello, my name's Alex, and today I'll be talking to you about the Glass Menagerie Stylized Design presentation. So let's get right into it. So, today I'll be talking to you guys about the set. More specifically, I decided to add a REVOLVE in my set as the main component for this project. So why did I add a REVOLVE anyways? Well, during the duration of Tom's memory, the majority of his story is being played out in his childhood apartment. The other main characters that also join him include Amanda, Laura, and Jim. So since this is a memory play, it's almost as if Tom's memory is on a never-ending loop. Tom's action of leaving his family feeds his guilt and haunts him, making him feel as if any choice he made, he would suffer the consequences. For example, staying responsible for his family and continuing to live a miserable life, or to live the life he wants to live and leave the house like his father. But in the process, he does leave his family behind. Evidently, he chose the second one, to leave the house and to leave his family behind. So why did I choose a REVOLVE set? Well, all the characters never actually leave the stage, making them a part of the never-ending cycle of Tom's past. The revolving stage design I decided to do is divided into 4 main rooms, and they all lead to one another, either through standard doorways, or through hidden doorways, or windows. So, this is what my set looked like. As you can see, my set is divided into 4. You have the entryway / Laura's room. To the right of it, you have the dining room. To the right of that, you have the fire escape / exterior. And then to the right of that again, you have the living room area. I'm going to now talk about every room a little bit more in detail and explain how it's laid out and why it's laid out that way. And then we'll reconvene at the end, showing you the set once again. So, the way I did the entryway and Laura's room actually is really important. Since it's the entryway, we do still need a point for them to enter by. So by having a door, we'd actually end up blocking pretty much this amount of set from the people that are sitting over here in the audience. So the way I decided to resolve that problem is by not putting a door at all. I just put the frame. So technically, all you have is just 2 posts and a post on top. That's all is there. So the characters would enter. They'd enter the set for the first time, and from that point on, they pretty much don't ever leave the set. So in this room, we also have Laura's bed, we could say it is, or cot. And this is also where the Glass Menagerie would be stored, in this type of cabinet shelf over here. We'd also have the record player in the back over here, but the record player could pretty much be moved into either one of the other rooms. That could be decided later. So now if we go towards the right, we're going to go through the door into the dining room. So inside of the dining room, we have a fairly large table, and we also have another type shelf to store all of the plates and other accessories that would go on the table to make it look nice, make it look presentable. This room, I also added a fake window. So this would pretty much just be a framed out looking window, and it could either have a television on the inside showing a projection of what the outside would look like, or we can literally project an image of the outside through this opening in the wall. So since we evidently can't really add a real window, because it would be looking out into a different part of the set, we can't have any fake masking to show the background. So this would be the best option. This room is also very interesting because of the fact that they need to have a place to go towards the kitchen. And I can't have them going back into the entryway because the audience knows that is the entryway, and they've seen them walk in through that way. So instead I've added a secondary door, but this door is a hidden door, which pretty much means that one side of this door looks like a standard door. And from the other side, however, it looks like a vent, since this would be the fake outside room. So I'm going to switch now to the other room so we get a better perspective of it. So moving to the right. As the characters would enter the kitchen, in quotation marks, they would push the door open and the fake vent would actually move with it behind the door, and it would swing towards here. So as the characters would enter the room, they would pretty much stand here, wait for their cue to come back into the dining room. But from this side, from the fake exterior point of view, we don't even see the door. It doesn't exist. it's like a standard wall. So you'd have probably a brick wall with vents and pipes and stuff like that outside. We could totally also add little smoke effects here and there with like a hazer or a fog machine to add more effect that we're outside. But from this side, the main point that I want to keep is the fact that we don't see the dining room whatsoever. So once you enter this room, so if we were entering from the window from the living room, we'd have no clue that this had actually been the dining room. It would be completely invisible. Speaking of the fake exterior / fire escape, the fire escape would also be lifted off the floor by probably 1/2 foot to 1 foot. This would add the effect of it being more off the floor and also show the audience that, hey, it's physically impossible for them to have walked from the dining room into the kitchen, thus the exterior. The window is also located here, but the wall isn't the same as the first time I did the set. This wall doesn't have to be a semi-broken wall due to the fact that the entire set rotates. So you don't have to have a broken wall, as we're going to see him literally walk from one side to the other. So now if we move into the other room, into the living room, so inside the living room, we have the window on the stage right side leading to the exterior. And as I said before, as he would walk from this room into the other room, this set would revolve with him. So we don't need to have a fake wall here so that we can see through it. We don't need that. The set revolves with him. In this room, we also have the painting of his father. We have 2 chairs and a coffee table. In the back, we also have a little corner table to fill in the gap. This could also have a small plant or a lamp on it. And we also have the typewriter that Laura uses, or pretends to use, as she quit her class. This room is quite open, and there's a reason for that, and I'll explain it in just a minute. So, moving back into the main entrance room, as you have probably noticed, the majority of my set is quite open and has minimal set dressing and props laid out around it. And the reason for that is quite simple and straightforward. The reason why there is not a lot of stuff on my set, and I try to keep it as open as possible, is because the set revolves. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you have already tried to walk onto a moving treadmill, even if it goes extremely slowly. It's quite difficult to keep your balance. And when you start a treadmill, if you're not paying attention, it's also very dangerous. You could fall. The same thing happens when you're on a revolve set. When the set starts to revolve, it doesn't always happen very, very smoothly. There is a small moment where the set moves and you're not always prepared for it unless you're starting to walk. So the reason why there's not a lot of set dressing located around the set is because we want to give the actors enough room to walk around and to not be hurt. We want them to feel like they have stuff just out of reach in case they need it, but not have them feel cramped in any way. This is for the actor's safety. That's pretty much it. So the set would also revolve in any direction as the action continues. So it could either move to the left or to the right, and the characters would almost seem like they're walking in spot. So if the characters were to be walking into the living room, for example, the characters would start walking towards the living room, the revolve would begin to revolve, and it would still look like the characters were walking here, even though they're walking through the door, and they make it into the living room. And as the set would finally start to make its way here, so the wall would be here, and it starts to make its way to the last point, it would slow down, and the set would stop turning. And the characters would just keep acting as if nothing had ever happened and they had just walked into a separate room. And that's what my point of my set is being. They're trapped on this set. Nobody's ever seen getting off the set. And that's the goal. We want them to look like they're trapped because it is a memory and memories don't escape. You can never escape a memory that has already happened. So yeah, this was the end. And look at those sexy tangerines though, honestly. Oof. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.